Hello, my name is Takayla Hall, and this is part 2 to my major project. Question 1. What difficulties did you have choosing a topic, and what made you choose the experience you shared? A difficulty I had choosing the topic was trying to find a way to put where my readers would relate, and also finding a way to put my emotion in my topic. The reason I chose this experience was because I go through this on a day-to-day basis. Every time I take a test, I think about how I need to check over my work to make sure I don't make the same mistake I did in my narrative. Question 2. In choosing your experience, what theme did you want to present to the reader, and how did you weave this theme throughout your narrative? The theme I wanted to convey in my personal narrative was the importance of slowing down and checking over your work. Oftentimes, when we're going through something and finishing up, we don't go back and check over our work, which leads us to make simple mistakes like I did in my story. A way I presented this throughout my narrative was first making the simple mistakes throughout my test from not going back and checking over, and also making the same mistake on a chemistry worksheet because I didn't do the same thing the previous day, and that led to my questions being wrong. Question 3. What influenced your decisions on how to organize your essay? Were your choices successful, and if so, why? If not, what would you change if you rewrote your essay? I chose to organize my essay by putting my story in the introduction and the body paragraphs, and then wrapping my theme up in the conclusion. I do not think this choice was successful because I did not include my thematic theme in the introduction, and that's the thing I would change if I rewrote it. I'd find a way to include my theme more in the beginning than just at the end. Question 4. How easy or difficult was it to tell your story, and why? For me, my story was pretty easy to tell because it had just happened to me maybe 3 weeks prior, so it wasn't that hard. But if my story had happened like a year ago, it would have been harder to remember details about what all happened. Question 5. Were you able to come up with the concrete, vivid, and specific language to describe your experiences on your own, or did you use tools like a thesaurus or the internet to help? Describe your process of finding and choosing your words. The way that I came up with my concrete and vivid language was when I was brainstorming, and I would set a timer for 5 minutes and wrote down anything that would come to my head. My process in doing this, I kind of just thought about what the room looked like or the vibe in the room during this time of taking the test and how I felt emotionally. And I kind of dramatized it in a way that it felt the reader would feel how I felt during those moments. Question 6. How did your word choice and/or imagery help to convey the theme of your narrative? I feel like the imagery in my story kind of showed the aftermath of my emotions after not checking over my work. I feel like I could have added imagery to my theme showing how I feel from checking my work and getting a good grade as a way to help the reader understand where I was coming from more. Question 7. How did you feel your topic developed as you wrote? What changes occurred during your editing process? Originally, my topic was going to be that everyone makes mistakes or that your grade doesn't define you. But I felt like my current thing gave me more of a lesson, and I was able to talk more about it and how it affected me when I didn't follow my lesson. To answer question 8, I did not use AI, but I feel like I could have used it to check over my commas and everything else that I was missing. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy.